Hi guys, sorry, that was just a couple of kids there giving it the fist pump, asking me to blow the horn. Welcome back to another video. Joining me from Helsinki in Finland. And we're off to Ireland next, so some fair trek. We actually pretty much, aside from Russia, that's actually one side of Europe to the other, I think. So it's Saturday evening. Would you believe it, right? Look at the sky, look how light it is. Would you believe it's 10:15 at night? The sun's not even actually set yet. The sun's not even gone behind the horizon. So I'm off back to the venue, because unfortunately I've not been able to park at the venue today. So heading back over to the venue now. We're gonna load out and then we're gonna head for the ferry at Naantali. I've got it slightly easier this time. If you remember well, to be fair, when I came up to Finland last time, we drove it all the way up through the Baltics. Today, or this time, I'm sailing back into I'm just getting a little bit confused here with where I am. I don't know if I've done something different here, but I'm sure this morning when I went into the venue that I came up this street here and turned right here. I don't know, I'm getting all confuddled. Yeah, so last time I came up here, we drove it all the way up through the Baltics, and then actually we went back to Austria, so we came back down through the Baltics anyway. But yeah, I'm actually sailing back into Sweden tomorrow, which is nice. I like Sweden. Got a lot of time for Sweden. Another place that I just really enjoy driving. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Helsinki to Ireland, Wicklow Island. I realised as well, I think when I spoke earlier I said it's Saturday. It's not, it's actually Friday. Well, it's actually Saturday now. It's the early hours of Saturday. It is 1:50 AM. Just look at the sky. This is as dark as it's been. It actually doesn't really get properly dark here. I know I keep talking about it, but just look at the sky. I can't believe that it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, well done. What was the point in that? Honestly, like, are you really that desperate to get in front of the lorry? Coming down into Naantali, a couple of miles away from the port now. I can't remember exactly what I'm doing here. It's been 5 years, so if I remember rightly, we parked on the port last time because we got here around about the same time we got here. It's 4 o'clock now, AM. If I remember rightly, we got here around about the same time last time, and then we just relaxed basically until we could book onto the ferry a little bit later. It's just come at the right time. I'm just starting to get a little bit drowsy now, so hopefully I'll get like 4 hours sleep. I'm gonna set my alarm for like 8 o'clock. Ferry's at 10:15, I think. Double check that when I get there. It's either 10:15 or 10:45, so once I get down here, I'll book off, end my shift, because I'm going to do a ferry movement onto the ferry, because the ferry is 8.5 hours, I believe. So by the time I get off, I will have cleared a full daily rest, and I'll be able to start a new shift on the other side in Sweden. So yeah, I'll get down here, book off, set my alarm for about 8 o'clock, get up, go and check in, book on the ferry. Kapellskär. That's where we're going, so we're in the right place, which is it's a start. So checking straight ahead, parking to the left. Finline's cargo check-in. Oh, okay, yeah, so there's check-in straight in front of me pretty much. So I think I'll just pull down here, get on the bunk. I'm just gonna not pull it too far forward and leave enough room for this guy to get out by the side of me in case he gets up early. I'm not sure what time we can book on, but well, we can check in, should I say. I've set my alarm for 8 o'clock, and then that gives me at least 2 hours, so should be fine. Right, we're all checked in. The size of that. Lovely boat that is. We're boarding the ferry nice and early. It's 8:50. So we're not sailing for another hour and 25, or we're not due to depart for another hour and 25. Which means I'd actually get a solid 9 hours on here if I really needed to. Not that it matters, because obviously we've already been on rest for 4.5 hours nearly. He's, oh okay, I was gonna say he's like he's standing like in between two lanes looking, waving down the middle. I'm like, yeah, but yeah, everybody else is straddling the line, as they say. I'm filming.
So it's a fun job. I said, depends who you with.
With me, is it fun? Wow, look at all the food. Wow.
Yeah.
There's loads of options.
Of course.
Breakfast and dinner.
Yeah. Minä olen huolissani, että
Hello, sunny Sweden. I'll tell you what, that's a woman driving that truck there to my right hand side. Love to see the amount of women who drive trucks up here. Loads of them. Loads of them. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's that has to be in the question for the best boat that I've ever been on. I said that about the Tallink from Tallinn to Helsinki a couple of years ago, and then that same year I actually went back to Finland and I sailed from Stockholm to Turku on Viking lines, I believe, and that at the time I thought that's hands down the best boat I've been on. It had everything on there, casino, everything. This one, if I can find a picture, I'll just put a picture up now of the boat that we came out of, that we came out on, and when we came out of here 5 years ago, 2019. And they've had completely new ships now for this route. So it was a brand new ferry. Well, I say brand new, I think it might have been 2023. And it's got everything on there. Gym, sauna, spa. Such a good boat. So we're gonna pull up and we need to do our vignettes for Sweden and Denmark, so I'll pull up and do the vignettes for today and tomorrow, and then we'll get back on the road. So I'm just going to put it out there now, by the way, I'm setting myself a little challenge. So yeah, I'm aiming for Varnamo tonight, which is, I think I've already said, it's around about 300 miles from Kapellskär. And then tomorrow night I'm aiming for an Autohof just south of Hamburg called Sittensen. I've stopped in there before a few years ago, if I remember rightly. It's alright in there. So I'm aiming for there tomorrow night, and like I said, I've got to be off the road by 9:45 PM. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a 9-hour rest tonight. I'm going to reduce it tonight, because the sooner I get up tomorrow, or the more hours I get in tomorrow, the better, basically, the further I can get before I have to pull up for my 24. So I will reduce it tonight to 9 hours. Crack on tomorrow, and hopefully I can get down to Sittensen by, if I can get there by 9 o'clock tomorrow night, I'll be happy. So you heard it here first, that's the plan. Autohof Sittensen, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, meet me there. Let's go! Morning, guys. Welcome to day 2 proper of our long haul Finland to Ireland journey. So we're just leaving Varnamo now. Tried to record coming in here last night, and for some reason I couldn't get the GoPro switched on, and obviously because I was driving, I wasn't going to start leaning over the dashboard trying to mess around with it on the windscreen, so I just had to suck it off, unfortunately. But you've not missed anything anyway. We got here around about half an hour ahead of time. I think I'd estimated we would be here around about around about 1 o'clock AM. We actually got here like 9:30. Losing my head. Thought we'd get here about 1 o'clock. We got here like 12:30, so I've had 9 off and started my card at 9:30. Got some fuel this morning. It's actually now 10:30. By the time I've started my shift, done my checks, and then been and filled both trucks up, both tanks, and AdBlue and everything. It's 10:30 now, but I reckon we're still going to be down in Sittington for 9 o'clock, all being well. We've got a couple of ferries to catch today. We've got the Helsingborg to Helsingør, which is a nice little. I really like that ferry. It's only about 15-20 minutes on the ferry. You can actually sit in your cabin if you sorry, you can sit in the cab if you like. You don't have to go upstairs. But it just breaks the journey up a little bit, and so actually the journey's broken up like almost perfectly. So we've got about 107 miles down to Helsingborg, and then there's the short ferry, and then it's about 120 miles from Helsingør, where the ferry docks, down to Rodbyhaven, or Rodbyhaven, however you pronounce it, to the bottom side of Denmark. And then there's another ferry into Puttgarden in Germany, and then it's about 125 miles from there down to Sittington. So the journey's broken up perfectly into 3 2 to 2.5 hour drives with 2 ferries in between. So all is good. All is good. You're not going to believe this as well, right? I'm just over there filling up on the pumps, Varnamo, middle of nowhere, spectacular or in particular. No offence if you live around here, because I do like Sweden, I do. But it's of no specific note as far as I'm aware anyway. It's just kind of a town somewhere in Sweden. And as you can see by the scenery, there's not a lot else around here really. But anyway, we're there filling up. There's another guy filling up on the pumps next to me in his big Swedish road train. He comes over with his phone out and he says, oh, I follow KB Event on Instagram. Showed me his Instagram, and he's obviously got the KB Event profile on Instagram. How cool is that? And he was really pleased that he'd seen the trucks, and all the way up here took a couple of pictures of them. I just thought that was quite random really. It's such a small world really, isn't it? Anyway, I'm rabbiting, so let's crack on, get down to Helsingborg. I always get them mixed up, Helsingør and Helsingborg. But Borg is Sweden and Or is Denmark. So Helsingborg, Sweden, Helsingør, Denmark. So we've only looked, we might get a front row seat here. I've booked as well, when you go in, coming up or down, if you come in from Germany, Puttgarden, and coming all the way up into Sweden, or vice versa, if you come in from Sweden and going all the way down to Germany, you can actually book both ferries together at the same time. So when I get to Haven or Rodbyhaven in Denmark, I don't have to mess about checking in again. I've already got my ticket. I can just go up straight to the machine, scan it, and go straight into the lanes ready for the next boat. So I just saved myself a few minutes. Welcome to Denmark. No sooner have I got on the ferry, I feel like I've got off it again. 22 minutes I think, from putting on the handbrake to pulling off there. So just enough time to stretch the legs, get a coffee, bite to eat, sandwich, and we've done 2 hours 12 minutes driving so far. Obviously we haven't reset the driving because we just had 20 odd minutes on break there. So we might make it down to the next ferry. I'm not sure. I think it might be 120 something miles, so it might be just out of reach. Either way, regardless, we only need a 30-minute break anyway for our second break, so no biggie. I've actually put it into the sat nav for the Autohof at Sittingson that I'm trying to get to tonight, and it's coming up. Well, it's telling me I'm going to get there at 7:23 p.m. That's obviously not including a break, and I would imagine that that's not taking into account sitting on another ferry for 45 odd minutes or however long that second crossing is. But I reckon we're still going to be there by 9 o'clock. I don't see why not. So just a little trip update. We've just had a 30-minute break, which has reset our drive time because obviously we had 20 something minutes on the ferry, on the first ferry. And we're about 30 miles from Rodby, and we'd done like 4 hours driving, so we was never going to make it in a 4.5 hour drive from Varnamo. But yeah, there's a little parking area just where I am now. Is kind of like in between these two bridges, like a bit of an island thing, I think it is. And there's a parking area down there right next to the water. I've always wanted to go in there. I've always come over this bridge and seen it, but never actually stopped there. So I've just been in there for the first time. It's quite nice in there actually. Alright, so here we are just coming into Rodby. And because I got my ticket for this ferry back up in Helsingborg, I won't have to stop and go in the office now to check in. I will be able to go straight to the barrier, scan my ticket and go straight into a lane. All being well. Oh, man. So it turns out that despite the fact that I've already booked and paid at for both crossings back in Helsingborg, I still have to go there and check in anyway. So it's almost like, what's the point? It kind of defeats the object, because what it is now, they're both owned by separate companies. They used to be owned by Scandlines, both of them, or as far as I can remember. But now you have, the this one is still owned by Scandlines, but the Helsingborg to Helsingør is owned by a different company, so you still have to go and check in when you get down here anyway. So, you know, like I said, what's the point? It kind of defeats the object. Well, this is good news though. Anyway, we've got a boat in, and we're going to get straight on it pretty much. So. So ferry number 3 and number 2 of the day, and this is going to stand us in really good stead for making Sittingson by 9. We're off for the final push. So I think the nav needs to recalculate itself because it's saying 137 miles. I don't think that's right. I think it's still got me in Denmark. Oh yeah, so it's just adjusted itself. So we're now 126 miles. It's saying 2 hours 41 minutes, and that gets us there at 8:27 p.m. I think once we get on the road, we'll shave 5 to 10 minutes off that. Now, I have to apologise because I'm not sure. The GoPro, for some reason, keeps turning itself off, which is annoying the living daylights out of me. I'm not sure why it's doing it. So I'm not sure where we've got to. Like, obviously I've not watched the footage back yet, so I'm not sure what I've said and what I haven't. So if I do apologise if it's cut off somewhere and something doesn't make sense. To be fair, most of what I say doesn't make sense, but if the video is not in some kind of order and everything doesn't make sense, then it's because the GoPro's cut off somewhere when I've been recording, so I do apologise. And in case you're wondering, yes, I have got a permit to run Germany today because it is Sunday. So we're all fine and dandy. The biggest issue is going to be if we can find somewhere to park. Well, if we can get a spot in this auto off, with it being a Sunday and obviously everybody being parked up for the ban, or most people being parked up for the ban. But only time will tell. So we'll press on, as always. Figure it out when we get there. Well, here we are, folks, just approaching Sittingson. and it is 8:15. I said 9 o'clock. I said I hope to be there for 9 o'clock. And yeah, we're less than a mile away, 8:15, so smashed it, done really well. So all we need to hope now is that we can find a parking space in there, or two, should I say, because there's two of us. But on the plus side, with it being 8:15, we've actually got, if you remember, I said we need to be off the road by 9:45, so we've actually got an hour and a half to play with if we can't get a space in here. So that's good. I can't believe that it's been less than 48 hours since I left Finland, and I'm now within one shift of being back in the UK. Kind of sad, really, because you know it's a novelty to me to drive up there and that. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that it's over already, but I don't know when I'm going to be back up there. But hey ho, I can see spaces in there, so we're looking good. We are looking good. Right. I don't know if we're supposed to enter on this side or that side. Maybe if I have to go around the petrol station and come back in, I will do. Yeah, there's a, whoops, coming the wrong side, look. Oh well. I wonder what the deal is with parking out here, because you only have to pay to go through the barriers. But I'm not fussed about paying. I mean, no doubt there's some kind of offer, food voucher or something you get with paying. So as we're here for 24 hours. Maximum daily parking rate, 24 hours, €15. Parking fees will be deducted from purchases in the restaurant. So there you go. You pay, you eat here, you park for free, pretty much. And off we go again, already. I feel like we've been in there 5 minutes. We've had 24 hours, just over. Trans Am there. I was actually talking to the guy earlier, to be fair. And there's a Phoenix. Oh yeah, it's just over there to our right. There's a Phoenix bus as well. He actually came and sat with us when we had dinner in the restaurant. Nice guy. So it's now Monday night, or Monday evening. It's 9 PM Monday basically, and to be honest, I could have stayed there until tomorrow morning, but from here to Calais is like 450 miles, there or thereabouts, which is, if you go by 50 mile an hour, which I normally do, gives a bit of leeway, that's a 9-hour drive, plus a break, plus any other messing about that I would have had to do, like stopping on the border to change the country, etc, etc. So basically what I'm saying is, when I would have got to Calais tomorrow night, I would have been starting to run short on time, and I probably, to play it safe, I probably would have just had to stay in Calais. So I've just decided to come out and do like 4 hours tonight, or do 4 hours, 4.5 hours. I'll run till about 1 o'clock and then go on rest again, and then I know that I'll only be like, say, 250 miles from Calais tomorrow, which means I can get down to Calais, and then I've got plenty of time to get over back to the UK and get parked up safely tomorrow night, or early hours of Wednesday morning, whenever it may be. But that's fine, that works all right for me, because I'm a night owl anyway. I probably said it before, I'm a night owl. I don't mind staying up till, to be honest, I don't normally, unless I've got to get up early, I don't normally sleep before 1, 2 o'clock in the morning anyway. So I'm all right with driving till like 1, 1:30 in the morning. That's not a problem for me. Like I said, it's 9 o'clock now. I've got 4.5 hours drive if I want it. I might just, I'll probably do 4 hours and then start looking for somewhere to park, because it might be slim pickings at that time of the morning. But I'm alright with driving till 1, 2 o'clock. It's when, I think I said earlier in the video, you know, when it gets to like 4 o'clock, that's when I start, you know, that's when I start flagging a little bit. So yeah, this, to be honest with you, I actually quite enjoy running into the small hours sometimes, because it's just quieter, there's less traffic on the road usually. It's more peaceful. I feel like I can get more done. You've not got to worry about the overtaking bans as much like there are in Germany. A lot of no overtaking in Germany, even on three-lane motorways like this. Still a lot of no overtaking. So I run at night, less traffic. I mean, look at the road in front of me. You can see that, you know, there's hardly anything. So yeah, we crack on and see where we get to, somewhere in Holland. And I'm not rushed. Like I said, I can have 11 off tonight, not a problem. And then I can make a plan for tomorrow then, and see where I think I can get to tomorrow night. So if I don't speak to you again tonight and update you with where we get to, then I'll speak to you in the morning. Right, just a quick update for you guys. I'm just currently coming out of Juiced truck stop at Mia on the Dutch-Belgian border. So we ended up leaving that auto off last night at Sittingson, and then we drove like 4 hours into Holland, or the Netherlands as it's known. I don't know if that is I don't know if the Dutch get funny about that, but I always refer to the Netherlands as Holland. It's actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's I think it's 2 regions, North Holland and South Holland. Someone can correct me on that. But I just refer to it as Holland. I don't know why. But the technical term really is the Netherlands. So yeah, we left that Sittingson, drove into the Netherlands, parked up. We was pretty lucky really, because we parked up at like 1:15 in the morning, and we somehow managed to find 2 spaces in a very small service station, and like there were trucks parked across the back of them, so we ended up having to back down across the front and into 2 spaces. But we had, yeah, we got parked in there safely anyway, and we had 11 off last night / this morning. And then we've just driven about 2 hours this morning and crossed over the border from the Netherlands into Belgium. So we're gonna have to have a break anyway, or we were gonna have to have a break sometime between wherever we left this morning and getting to Calais. So as we crossed the border there, I thought 2 birds, 1 stone. I'll pull over, have my break, and change my country over at the same time. And I wanted to have a look in the truck stop anyway. It's been a while since I've been in there, that truck stop. It's a really good, in my opinion, a very good truck stop. That I like it. The particularly the actual truck shop and the stuff that they've got on offer in the shop. So I just thought I'd fill you in with what's been happening, because in the trance that I was in this morning, I just completely forgot to record. So yeah, other than that, not a lot going on. It's pretty miserable, as you can see. And I'm heading down through a rainy, grey Belgium, down to Calais. I'm gonna get across. This evening or tonight, and then my next task is going to be finding somewhere to park in the UK. I don't know exactly where I'm gonna park yet, or where I'm even going to be able to park. So I'll have to have a think about that over the course of the next few hours. So as I'm sure you can all tell, we are just approaching Calais now. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of quite looking forward to going home this time, or coming back to the UK, which is not like me. I don't know if it's because I've done such mileage on this trip. I mean, in such a short space of time as well. Usually you know, I love bouncing around Europe, but I think this time, because of the mileage that we've done in such a short period, I think he's just like completely taken it out of me. I'm kind of just looking forward to going back where, no, the thing is with the UK, everything's, compared to out here, of course, everything's like so close together. So maybe that's what it is. This is unusually quiet, like frighteningly quiet. Which hopefully that's a good sign. It's 6:35 local. If I can be on a boat by 8 o'clock, I'll be happy. So let's find out. Guys, that is a result. That is a result and a half. Boat is at 7:35. So let's just hope it doesn't take us too long to get through the sheds here, the heartbeat monitor thing, whatever it is, because they're queuing right to the back, and this can take a while sometimes. Now I've remembered why I come through here in the dead of night, if I can help it. Because it's now 7:20. I'm supposed to be on the boat at 7:35. I've still got to go and get the Calais stamp, which shouldn't take them very long. But they've also put Paul, who's the other truck travelling with me, they've put him on the 9 o'clock ferry. 9 PM. Like, we're supposed to be on the same ferry because we're on the same Calais. He's got 9 PM and it completely different lane to me, and obviously I've got 7:35, which it's looking like I might not even make at this rate. I hate this place, honestly. I hate this place. Just get me back to the UK ASAP. I've had enough. Right, it's now 7:25. And I've got 10 minutes until the ferry's due to go. There's still a small chance that I might make it, you know. Lane 10, 11. But the ferry's due to depart in 10 minutes and I still don't know what's going to happen with Paul. Because the problem is, once you get past, or to the point where we'd realised that we were on separate ferries, it's already too late to go back and speak to somebody. So he's gonna follow me and hope for the best, hope that they're gonna let him on with that ticket. Oh, these are the lanes here. Actually, it looks like they've not even boarded it yet. I tell you what, I think we might be unlucky here somehow. Snatched it. We've snatched the victory from the jaws of defeat. Yeah, Paul's coming in the lane behind me. The ferry's not even boarded yet. Like, honestly, it's just, I feel like we've just had a complete roller coaster of emotions. Like, it's gone from absolutely buzzing to getting the early ferry to absolutely fuming that I'm going to miss it, and then absolutely buzzing again that we've made it and that we're both on it. Oh, what a ride, what a ride. The trials and tribulations of international trucking. Right, so I'm on, but I'm not sure if they're letting Paul on or not, you know. I'm not sure if he's getting on or not. I hope he is. There really needs to be some kind of system that ensures this doesn't happen. So did I not just say, when I was in the lanes for the boat, that this is some kind of like roller coaster ride of emotions? It's like, I'm happy, I'm really happy that I'm going to get on the early ferry. And then I'm really annoyed because I think I'm going to miss it. And, excuse me, they're giving Paul, who's on the same Calais as me, a ticket for a later boat. And then we actually got through everything with like minutes to spare, made it onto the ferry, and then they decided they're not going to let Paul board the ferry anyway. So as I was boarding, obviously the phone rang, and that was Paul saying they're not going to let me on, which is kind of annoying really, because like there was so much room on the back of the ferry. I was literally the last truck on the ferry, and there must have been, well, you saw how much space was on the ferry when I got on, and like I said, I was literally the last one. They shut the doors behind me, so you know they could have let him on. But the future issue that this causes me now, or the current issue, because we're on the Calais together, we have to go and do customs together. I have to go and do the import together, or the reimportation together. So where am I supposed to go and park now for an hour and a half or 2 hours before he catches me up? Because there's nowhere in Kent to park nowadays. Even the truck stops will be full at this time. I mean, I could probably get in Motus in Dover truck stop, but it's so expensive to park there. It's not really worth going in there for like an hour and a half. I've got no chance of getting in like Ashford or anywhere like that now. Not a chance. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Maybe I'm going to go in Sevington where we do our customs and just see if they're going to let me wait there. I am fuming. I've just spent 2.5 hours of my life in there. Oh my God. All right, listen, I'm not going to this place anymore. I am not going to Sevington to do my customs paperwork anymore. I would literally rather pay £10 out of my own pocket to do the carnet in Dover than spend any more time in there in Sevington. I'm not doing it anymore. It took me longer to queue to drop the carnet in than it did for them to actually process it. It's a joke, honestly. It's a joke. And like now the problem is, or a problem is, I've got like what have I got remaining on my shift? I've got like 2 hours 50 remaining on a 15-hour spread. The question is, where do I go? I'm heading to Holyhead. Do I go south around the M25, up towards the M40, or possibly even up the M40, or do I go east / north around the M25, and then go up the M1? The problem is, like, parking. This is what really annoys me about the UK. You know, when you look at the parking areas in Europe or in the EU, in mainland Europe, like the truck parking areas and like rest areas have at least, I would say, 100 spaces, most of them. Some of the ones in the Netherlands are slightly smaller, but like mostly you're never really gonna struggle. Like, don't get me wrong, they get busy, like crazy busy, but you can always find some way or somewhere to park. But like, I'm seriously thinking to myself now, I don't know where I'm actually going to be able to park. And if I do manage to find somewhere to park, it's probably going to cost me in the region of 40 quid. For what? Nothing. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And to be honest, I'd be surprised anyway if the M25 isn't closed one way or another. Or probably even both ways, actually. Honestly, I would not be surprised if the M1 is closed. If I go south or west towards Heathrow, it will be closed before I get to the M40. If I go north or east towards the M1, it will be closed before I get up there. I guarantee you it's going to be closed somewhere. Right, I don't know. I'm going to head off because I'm ranting and raving and I'm losing it. So you know how I said yesterday, kind of looking forward to going back to the UK a little bit. Take it all back already. What a joke of a place, man. Oh my god. So obviously I got out of customs last night with like 2.5 hours remaining. I might have had 3 hours actually, I can't remember. Whatever it wasn't enough to get anywhere of any significance. And my options were up the M1. Right, I think I told you it was go up go up the north side, up the M1, come around the south side, up the M40. And I did say, didn't I, that there's going to be road closures somewhere. Well, lo and behold, the M25 was closed at Dartford, so that pretty much immediately shot that idea out the window. And the M25, well, the exit from the M25 to the M40 was also closed. So I thought, okay, well, I could go down the M4 and then up the 414, is it? Or 404, I can't remember. Oh no, the M4's closed as well. And the problem is, if I get on the M40, where can I even get to? Because I'm never going to get parked in Beaconsfield. Not a chance. Not a chance in hell. 99% chance I wouldn't get parked in Oxford. And I don't know if I even had the hours to make it to Chilwell Valley. And I probably wouldn't get parked in there either. So in the end, I was passing Cobham and I thought, shall I just dive in and see if there's a space? And there was. And I thought, you know what? It's a space now. It's guaranteed. I should just take it. The annoying thing is, stopping in Cobham has left me more than I wanted to do today. Ideally, I only wanted to do a couple of hours today. You know, just because we're going out, I think we're going to Ellesmere Port. I think we're going to stop at that Formula truck stop tonight at Ellesmere Port. Because we've got a ferry, we'll have a ferry out of Holyhead tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. We load in tomorrow afternoon about 5 o'clock, I think. We've got a ferry out of Holyhead tomorrow morning, probably. So we were going to go to Ellesmere Port tonight, and ideally I could have been, you know, within a couple of hours, but such is the way in the UK. And here's another thing as well, right? I'm 219 miles away from just coming out of Cobham to Ellesmere Port. 219 miles, which in Europe you would say that's easily doable. Easily doable in 4.5 hours driving. In the UK, not going to happen. Absolutely not going to happen. So I guarantee now, I'm going to have to take a 45-minute break somewhere for the sake of probably 20 minutes driving, if that. Because there's just no way that, with all the roadworks in the UK, there's no way that I'm going to make it up there in 4.5 hours. It's not going to happen. So as you can see, we're just in Port of Holyhead. Booked on the 9 AM crossing, and it's 8:40 now. We've only just made it. Although I left in good time this morning, it took longer than I anticipated to do the customs, so. Nevertheless, we're here and we should be going pretty much straight on the boat now. And this is the 5th and final ferry of our, I want to say ultra long, but of our long haul trip. It's been a good one. I will record a clip in Dublin just to finish it off. It would be rude not to, wouldn't it? If I was to finish the video before I've fully reached the destination. don't half pack these Irish ferries tight, you know, honestly. Really, really tight. I would go as far as saying, like, the Irish ferries, doesn't matter which company, but if you go on a ferry across the Irish Sea, it's probably as tight as you're ever going to be packed in on a ferry. So I reckon, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm going to call it a day right there. As you can see, I'm off the ferry. I am still in the, like, within the port area of Dublin. I've just got to go and do my import now at T11, and then head over to the venue because we're actually loading in today, this afternoon at 5:30, I believe. It's now 12:40. Loading in at 5:30. Show day is actually tomorrow, but they've brought the loading forward a day, which is alright with me because that means we don't have to get up in the morning to load in. So that's a win-win situation. So what have we done? I've done 2,620 kilometers since I left Finland. And I can only go by kilometers. I've not recorded the mileage. I can only go by kilometers because that's the difference between then and now on Mataco, and which Mataco records in kilometers. So 2,600 kilometers, 10 countries. If you include the start and end countries. So we've done Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, France, England, Wales, Ireland. So start to finish, 10 countries, 2,600 kilometers. And how many days? We left early hours of Saturday, so 6 days. I don't know who that is, but maybe he watches the videos. He's just beeped at me. Hello, Mr. Mulgrew driver, if you're watching. Lost my train of thought now again. 6 days, kind of, including the 24 as well. Actually 5.5 days, and that includes a 24-hour rest there as well. So I don't think we've done too bad there, really. So apologies if it's not been the most interesting. It's pretty much just a little bit of driving and mainly me talking, rambling, and trying to remember what I'm talking about for half the video. But it has been my first one back for a very long time, and I do need to find my feet with it again. As I was saying, there will hopefully be more videos to come this summer, but I'm not going to promise anything, because anytime I do promise something, or I say, oh, I'm going to do another part, then I don't. I get sidetracked or something happens. So hopefully there will be more videos to come this summer. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks for coming with me. Hope you've enjoyed the ride, and if there is more to come, then hopefully I'll see you in the next part. Take care and goodbye for now.